We're going to learn something. We're not content with just the headlines or the typical talking points.
It's a refreshingly honest conversation about what's going on.
People feel it and they have fun.
It's about connecting our community and doing something to really make a difference.
We're taking today's stories and bringing positivity back.
3, 2, 1. You're right on time. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Take 5. We are live each and every day right here on King 5. I'm Chris Cashman outside Safeco Field. The Mariners game, day game, a little break of the action. Chance to come out and enjoy this. Usually fresh air. Currently 9-7. Spoiler alert, bottom of the 8th inning. The Mariners are down 9-7. But that gives them time for a dramatic comeback. So come on inside. We'll say hi to everybody. We have a special guest with us here today. Angela's on vacation, but we got Jordan Steele, of course. Michelle Lee is here. And Dr. Meade.
Dr. Elizabeth Meade.
How are you?
I'm so good. It's so nice to be here.
This is so
Chief of
exciting.
Pediatrics, it's Swedish, by the way.
That's right.
Name dropping. Thanks for being here. This is going to be fun.
Thanks
We
for
have
having me.
way too much to ask you. Probably like all of your friends who go, oh, she's a doctor. Oh, hey, so I've got this thing on my rash.
lot of
If you
text
could take a, yeah.
Well, you should tell her the real reason why we invited her. Michelle's starting to get a little cranky.
Is that it? Is that why?
Well, ouch!
Sorry.
You know I'm joking.
I
Actually,
always
I think it's
like
impossible for Michelle to get cranky. She's like the
No.
happiest
Yeah.
person around.
Well, Stephanie, our producer, said she's only nice to me because I am pregnant.
No
be nice
way,
to the
that's
pregnant
not
lady.
true.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, today we're talking about surprises.
Yeah.
And obviously not the baby. The baby was planned.
Right.
But I do have a new health concern that I just wasn't expecting, and it kind of threw me for a loop. I recently found out that I have gestational diabetes, and I really thought I was in the clear, but turns out I had a lot of factors, and one of them is age. So if you're, you know, in your 30s or actually late 20s or older and you're having a baby, which many of us are these days, then you might want to hear what I recently experienced. So, you know, we want to hear from you. What has surprised you, whether it's pregnancy or parenthood or I don't know, if you want to talk about your medical surprises, you can too.
Anything, you're welcome to chime in any way you would like. Of course, the text message, we always say that you could text us. 206-448-4545 is the number. I'm sure we'll get a lot of people chiming in about different things.
Yeah.
Mine was twins. I was told there was one baby in there.
Surprise.
Oh,
That's
really?
And then 2 weeks later, and they were like, oh, by the way, you're having twins. I was like, we checked a couple weeks ago, and there was one in here. What happened? So
What happened?
basically, what I believe happened, I don't really know, but my wife is an over-ovulator, I believe.
Oh.
So she dropped more
That's
than
a
one
thing.
egg.
That's a real thing? You didn't make
Yeah.
that up?
So there was one egg in there when we went in with one little baby inside.
Right.
And then there was this other weird egg. I don't know if it was in the tube still or it was somewhere else. And she was like, I don't know what this is, but it's your body's probably going to absorb it. Come back in a couple weeks and we'll check it out. And I said, okay, what's the odds? Oh, you got like a 5% chance of having twins. Perfect. We're not having twins. Came back.
Twins.
So does one of your kids know that they were the weird one?
We don't know which one that one is. You know, I don't know.
Good, never tell them.
And then another big topic that we're going to be talking about, the smoke in Seattle is in this disappearing act. Check out this video.
Very
That's
cool. That was, I
pretty.
think Ted Land was doing that from the ferry as he was leaving Seattle yesterday. You remember a year ago we had not as wicked but similar smoke, and it did the same thing coming into Seattle, and people across the country are going, hey, look at this video. This is crazy. So it's that bad, unfortunately. In fact, we should go outside to Jordan to talk about exactly what the weather is doing right now.
Yeah, you know what? We're already starting to see a little bit of improvement. Remember, I talked yesterday about how today was the transition day. We actually can see Safeco Field. I mean, yesterday it looked like fog, and then up above, It looks like we got a blue sky. So some of the smoke is beginning to leave. I'm going to start off with your air quality index. It's still not great down at the surface. We've got a couple of orange dots around the Strait and up around the San Juans. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups. To me, that is a little bit of improvement. So that is good. Tomorrow, we're going to see much better improvement. We're already seeing that marine coastal fog move into places like Aberdeen, Grays Harbor County, and closing in on your southern end of the I-5 corridor. We still have smoke overhead, but that will eventually change. This is low cloud coverage around Long Beach, so that shows you what I'm just talking about. And then that westerly wind that we've been waiting for patiently, it's arriving overnight tonight and into tomorrow. So that wind right there will do its job. It's going to push the smoke to our east. It will clear us out. Therefore, air quality is looking good Thursday afternoon. I have it medium in the morning and then low by the afternoon. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are looking like we will be 2 thumbs up. We're going to be tracking a little bit of rain, but it's good because we got to wash all this out of here. So that's a look at your air quality forecast over the next couple of days. I'll back it to you guys inside.
Ooh, thanks, I guess. Thanks, but no thanks. Well, that leads us to a question, Dr. Meade.
Sure.
So with the smoke clearing tomorrow, does that mean that the health hazards are also leaving? Are they gone?
You know,
Should be on
for
the
most people,
lookout.
yeah, I think most people that are having just mild symptoms that are otherwise healthy, within a day or so of the smoke going away, they're going to feel a lot better. There are people who have chronic respiratory problems like asthma or other heart or lung disease that may have more long-term effects, but even for those people, typically within a week or two, they're pretty much back to normal.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Great news. Okay.
All right, we got more coming on that, but we also want to get you caught up on some things happening around the world. Headlines, we call them the Fast Five, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, in a single breath.
If you want to know why this is a terrible idea by Donald Trump, take a look out your window. Because we are choking on dirty air. And he would give us dirtier air to breathe.
Yeah, that was Washington Governor Jay Inslee referencing the smoky air. They're announcing plans to sue the Trump administration, actually. The governor's latest suit is over a proposal to dismantle the Obama pollution rules that would have increased federal regulations of emission of coal-fired power plants there. Seattle already has removed more homeless encampments this year than it did in all of last year. The Seattle Times reported 22 sites were cleared between the start of 2018 and the end of July. In 2017, a total of 191 camps were removed. And a 12-year-old girl is trying to find the owner of a very special ring she found, Ellie Agee. She found a U.S. Air Force ring in Linwood's Martha Lake about 2 weeks ago. It appears to be a woman's ring, has an inscription which reads 10K. Ellie's grandfather has contacted the Air Force and the ring manufacturers to try and track down the owner. The National Weather Service says there is no tsunami threat after a 6.2 earthquake struck off the Oregon coast. This happened early this morning around 2:30. Its epicenter was about 165 miles off the coast and was about 6 miles deep. It was followed by 2 aftershocks. And a hurricane is headed for Hawaii. Hurricane Lane has weakened to a Category 4 storm with sustained winds of about 155 miles an hour. This is what it looked like from the International Space Station. Right now, Hurricane Lane is about 300 miles from south of Kona. The Big Island is already seeing rain and increased winds there.
Yeah. That is a huge. I have a couple friends in Hawaii, and they're.
We have a co-host also.
That's right. I forgot about
Kona,
that.
as a matter of fact,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken.
So they're already seeing rainfall on that Big Island, which I think that's exactly where she is, on the southern part of the tip. So believe it or not, we've got search and rescue teams right here from Western Washington. They are on a plane to Hawaii, and they're going to be out there to help out if needed once or if this Hurricane Lane actually hits. So most of the 35 Urban Search and Rescue Task Force, they found out this morning that they're being deployed. The first responders came from King and Pierce counties. Most are firefighters or police officers who have been sent to recent natural disasters like last year's hurricane in Houston and also the one in Puerto Rico. They've been told to prepare for spending 2 weeks in Hawaii. They're bringing equipment to help with swift water rescues and evacuations in flash flood zones. So I know all eyes will be out there for the next 24 to 48 hours. That's when it'll get closest to the Big Island. And then towards Friday is when it'll move its way towards Oahu and Kauai. I know, big one.
Scary. Okay, So I'm going to switch gears here because recently I had this surprise, an unexpected health change in my pregnancy. And, you know, it's certainly not the worst thing in the world by any means, so I am grateful. But at the same time, learning that I had gestational diabetes was quite a shock. And what I learned could help everybody, whether it's from risk factors or living with a better diet. Okay, so I have a pregnancy confession. I recently was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. Okay, so this is my monitor, and I hate it. 1, 2, 3. I have to tell you, it was a huge shock to me. Kind of a big deal. I had not gained a lot of weight. I had been eating well, and then I just felt really guilty because I felt like I had let down my baby. First of all, every pregnant lady has to do this test. You have to take one test where you drink the sugary mix and then take your blood. If you fail that test, then you have to take this 4-hour monster test where you fast. And by the end of it, you're just feeling woozy, you feel lightheaded, you're very hangry, and it doesn't make you feel good. I have gestational diabetes. When I posted it on my Instagram story, a lot of women actually reached out to me and said that they either had gestational diabetes or they currently have gestational diabetes. So I thought it would be good to go to an expert. Dr. Meade, help me out. I know a lot of women get this,
Yes.
right?
So it's about 6 to 7% of women get it during pregnancy. So it's a lot of people, and most of those women have perfectly healthy babies and no problems at all.
Or they could have 10-pound babies, right? If it goes
You
unchecked.
have a 10-pound baby even without gestational diabetes, but it does make it more likely that you might have a large baby or have a C-section.
What I discovered is if you don't get your gestational diabetes treated, then you can end up having a really large baby that could cause injuries during childbirth to you or even the baby.
Pregnancy is so fun, isn't it?
You set up the child to potentially be obese or have type 2 diabetes. After I have my baby, will I need to worry about diabetes or
For
should I?
most women who truly have gestational diabetes, it goes back to normal as soon as you have the baby.
Is there anything that I could have done to make it less likely? Like maybe if I cut out carbs?
There's no guarantee of prevention, and I think that's something that's really hard because we don't often have good ways to advise people that we can say for sure you won't get it if you do this. But definitely for women who are overweight or obese, losing that excess weight prior to getting pregnant is probably the thing that helps the most. And then being physically active and exercising even prior to pregnancy is something that can help decrease your risk as well.
I thought about it. I thought about losing weight.
Easier said than done, I think, for everyone, right? Yeah.
So, you know, even though this is happening to me, I felt like this was something I wanted to share because we could all learn from it. And really, the diet for gestational diabetes is one that we could all benefit from.
Lots of fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, staying away from processed refined carbohydrates. We want you to be doing all that stuff anyway if you're pregnant and even if you're just a regular person walking around. But the most important thing is that most women, the majority of women that have gestational diabetes are able to control it just with diet and don't need medication.
It still stinks.
And the vast majority of women that have this go on to have perfectly healthy, normal babies.
Here's to a perfectly healthy, normal baby. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so there are a few risk factors I want to talk about as well. If you are older than 25, you're more likely to develop gestational diabetes. If you have family history of diabetes, excess weight, also a factor, and your chances increase also if you are a minority. Black, Hispanic, American Indian, and Asian are all at a higher risk of getting gestational diabetes.
25?
I know, it's so young to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, but if you want to learn more about gestational diabetes or a diet that everyone can benefit from, you can text the word food to 206-448-4545 and we'll send you some guidelines and recommendations.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
I have been in range every day, so I feel like I have been so good.
Michelle said to me before the show, do I really have it? If all my blood sugars have been fine.
I did, because I want to graduate from it, you know, but.
Right.
Well, we've been talking about like your little life hacks because, you know, I keep saying, what are you craving now? What's the thing? And it still seems to be burgers, right? But she keeps saying, yeah, but I have to do it without the bun. And everything. You know, she just has to kind of figure out how to tweak everything. I know, you're doing great.
I remember my mom had it. And
Really?
She was like, I don't know why she brought this up. She goes, whenever, because I think as kids we like pancakes. She goes, yeah, when I had Chad, I had my pancakes with peanut butter. And I think now it's like, no, get rid of the carbs completely, okay?
Right.
Don't do that at all. But From what I've seen, you've been doing a great job.
Well, I can only have, I should say, not only, I have 150 grams of carbs a day, which is actually...
That's pretty easy to do.
It's
I think
pretty
that's
easy to
doable.
do,
Yeah.
so I don't even think I get to 150. I mean, if you were going to have like an egg sandwich, for example, in the morning for breakfast, that falls under 30 or 15 grams. I can't remember now.
make sure
But
that-
anyway, I mean, I can have sandwiches, so...
That's good.
Yeah.
I know in the
without
beginning
the
of the
bread,
show
yeah.
we asked if anybody else has any pregnancy confessions,
Surprises.
surprises. I don't know, Stephanie, if we've
You talked about
gotten any
yours
of those.
because
Mine was the twins.
Mine, you know, there's a lot of surprises you find out along the way. I think I threw my mom for the biggest surprise. I was just too huge.
How
She's
big
about
were you?
your size, and I was too big, so they had to break my collarbone and collapse me and drag me out. There's a lot. I was just talking about this with our producer, Steph. We want to bring Steph in. I know you had a few curveballs as well.
Yeah, mine weren't quite as dramatic as what you guys were just talking about, but I had preeclampsia with my first pregnancy. I ended up having my baby early. You know, breastfeeding didn't go as planned. Like every stage from toddler to, you know, as the kids get older, there's always curveballs and surprises. But the point that I wanted to make is that I think what I've learned from pregnancy and parenthood is that life is full of surprises. And once you learn to kind of go with the flow, it makes things a lot easier.
Nice. That's
I like
true.
that.
That's
I
true.
think that was probably the biggest
Expect the
hiccup for
unexpected.
me.
Well, and so much is thrown at you. You learn all these new terms.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we go and see people like you, and you say all these things. We go, as new parents going, yeah, I understand you.
It's
I go in home,
overwhelming.
I'm like, Billy
And it
Rubin, what's
never
that? I
goes
thought
to
that was a
plan.
diner.
I mean, nobody's journey is perfect and
Yeah.
without surprises, I think. So it just never goes exactly how you think it's going to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I wish you could tell us all of your horror stories, all of your best
Would not
cases.
protect patient confidentiality, but, you know.
Yeah, later.
Well, I know you have lit the internet on fire, not only in the 5-5, but we have a text, somebody responding directly
Okay.
to your situation.
I had gestational diabetes with my son, didn't meet any of the risk factors, ended up needing insulin, and was induced early because he was predicted to be 10 pounds.
Yeah,
He came
wow.
out perfect at 7. Mine went away as soon as he was born.
How
That's
big do you
good.
want your baby to be?
6 pounds? I don't know.
All right.
That's interesting though, because I think we talk a lot about risk factors, but for a lot of women, we just can't predict, and it may just happen even
Right.
if you're doing everything right and you're under 25 and all the other things we talk about.
Right.
Oh, okay, let's change subjects and go to the 5-5.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, that is, of course, our social community that is always buzzing 24/7, and we love seeing what's going on with you. I thought this was kind of interesting because Sharina sent this in. She said, fires are closer than you think. This is a helicopter refueling behind Rainier School in Buckley. So, good reminder here of the important work that our fire crews are doing. Also, speaking of which, you know, a lot of people aren't going outside. Susan says Polar is not very happy because he can't go for a walk because of the smoke, and I bet he's been indoors for a couple of days. And then I wanted to end with this one because even though we had baby Henry on yesterday, I want to show you again because baby Henry is taking a nap using a trick that we learned, she says, watching Take 5. I spritzed a hand towel with water, placed it in the freezer for a few minutes, and then one content baby over here. Thanks, guys. And if you remember, Stephanie did that because of what Chris said. So
Freeze
this was
the sheets.
freeze the sheets. Good idea. If you'd like to join the Hive, text Hive to 448-4545, and we'll kick you back a link so that you can see more cute pictures and stories from folks. All right, let's go back over to the table.
Yes, and we're getting to that time of the season. If you've been shopping for a while, you see glue sticks, notebooks, backpacks. Back to school time? Is it already that time to get those kids
Pencils,
back in the
pencils,
classroom?
protractors.
The binders? Remember the
I don't think people use protractors anymore.
Is that still a thing? We'll talk about that coming up next.
I'll sell mine.